Fellas, happy Sabbath. A couple things I'm gonna spit at you tonight. First of which is great job getting those tests in. Uh, you guys all showed up at the right time. You had everything ready. There was no complications. Really proud of you guys. Really proud of you. So what I'm going to talk to you about in this 5-minute video is probably stuff that right now you're doing well with. Okay, this idea of taking personal responsibility. If first week, good job, good job. But yeah, we're COVID free and we're ready to go. So training is going to start this week. Excited about that. Excited about where you guys are at. The energy that we're feeling around the team. Good things are going to happen, fellas. But we talked to you a lot about responsibility, and so I'm going to share a part of scripture. Paul writes to a church in Galatia, and at the end of the book, he says this. This is chapter 6, starting in verse 2. Bear one another's burdens and thereby fulfill the law of Christ. For if anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. But each one must examine his own work, and then he will have reason for boasting in regard to himself alone, and not in regard to another. For each one will bear his own load. Another version says, for every man shall bear his own burden. All right? So part of taking responsibility is understanding what's expected of me, but 2, seeing and understanding that what happens to me and what I do impacts the world around me. Okay? I have things that I'm accountable to. My wife and my kids and you guys. If I show up late, or if I don't know when to show up for work, or if I don't know when to be somewhere, then I let people down. Okay, so a big part of my life, and a big part of what I think is what it means to be a man, is understanding that my life impacts other people, and I need to take responsibility to one, carry my own burden, but understanding that my burden or my role or my responsibility is going to impact those around me. Okay, and if I do my job, it's going to help someone else do their job. All right, if I do my role as a husband, it makes my wife's role as a wife much easier. Okay, if I do my job as a coach, it makes your life a little easier. Okay, and it's hard as young people because your life sometimes becomes your focus, and you don't think about how you fit into other people. So when you show up late to practice, or when you show up to practice and you're not ready to go mentally or physically, that impacts your partner. You are making it more difficult for your partners to get better because you're not ready to go. You didn't take responsibility. When you do poorly in the classroom, that impacts everyone else on the team. Okay, maybe not directly, but indirectly. When you don't do what you're supposed to do in the classroom, or you have stress in the classroom and you show up to practice, or you're not competing at a high level because you can't manage the stress in your classroom, that impacts the guys in the team. All right, so part of growing up, part of developing, part of becoming a man is understanding that when you carry your burden, when every man bears his own burden, that impacts positively people around you. All right, people are relying on you. So you have responsibilities in college, academically. You have responsibilities athletically. You have responsibilities to your wife, to your future wife, to your kids, to your teammates, to develop spiritually, to become a man of faith. Okay? You have those responsibilities, but you have to know what's expected of you. So there is, whether it's a syllabus, whether it's a handbook, whether it's something I post on in the emails, there is an expectation for you to know stuff. So I would make it a weekly routine every Sunday that you read those emails. And if there's a handout, that you read those handouts. If there is a syllabus, that you are reading that syllabus. So you don't show up to class and say, I didn't know we had an assignment. That's being passive. You are passive, and because you are passive, there are consequences for that. Your actions impact other people. So, 3 things to focus on. Number 1, okay, to take responsibility. First thing you must do is you need to know where you're supposed to be. Where are you supposed to be? When are you supposed to be there? And what do you need to be ready? Okay? So, as you think about this week, and there's going to be some things you need to do, where do you need to be? When do you need to be there? And what do you have to have in your possession to be ready to go? Okay? So we have weight certification on Wednesday. Where do you need to be? When do you need to be there? And what do you need to have to get certified? All right? So if you just ask yourself those 3, I have class. When do I need to be there? Where's my class? What do I need to be ready for class today? And it's your job. Your job. It's your burden to be ready to go. And guys, if you can master that, if you can kind of figure those things out and take the time to prepare, man, your life's going to be easier. You guys in the team, that's going to impact them in a positive way. And ultimately, you're growing and developing into a man who's going to be responsible. And that's what your family deserves. Okay? So I'd really challenge you to do that, to really think about that this week. Read the email. I have in there our handbook. Skim through that. I also have in there our Return to Wrestle plan. So read through that. We're going to talk about it on Tuesday. But if you show up on Tuesday after our lifting session, and it's the first time, that's me talking about it on Thursday, is the first time you've heard it, then you did not take responsibility. You weren't ready. That should be review on Tuesday. This shouldn't be a time for you to learn. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Lots going on this week. We got 3 recruits on campus. 1 tomorrow, 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday. So if you can peek into my office sometime during the day, that'd be good. Also, academic meetings start this week. Study hall starts on Thursday. A lot of information in there. Look through there, write stuff down, and man, I'm pulling for you, praying for you guys, and again, excited to finally get to work. And I'm curious to see how you guys respond. Hang in there, fight the good fight, and I'll talk to you later.